Do you need DJI Care refresh? I know it's annoying having another thing to think about after buying this drone, but so far this many people are surprisingly vocal about how easy it is to get a replacement if you wreck your drone and you have DJI Care. That is strange to me to see this many people vocal about insurance, but I guess it just works really well. The gist of it is that yes, you pay a fee, and then if you fly your drone into a tree or just the side of the wall or something, you get a new one sent out to you. With DJI Care Refresh, you have the option to send the drone back in and you get it replaced for a fee. They pay for the shipping both ways and deal with that. You also get other benefits like repairs are way cheaper. You get chat and phone support if you have problems with other stuff. So it's kind of like a VIP membership for a DJI service. You can't do this over and over again, by the way. You get 2 crashes per year. If you have the 2-year coverage, then you get 3 crashes total. Good news though, if you go a year and you don't need anything from them, like you don't use the replacement services, then the warranty on your drone is extended for a year. And in this case, we're talking about it specifically for the Mini 3 Pro. And is it worth the money to get DJI Care? In a perfect world, you never crash your drone. I've crashed a couple of drones, one during a haboob, another I nicked the side of a fence that I didn't see while I was landing, another time I hit a power line I couldn't see and I almost fell, but I didn't. So a lot of people have good reason to have a ton of anxiety and a million things to think about while they're flying. A lot of people didn't grow up playing video games and aren't familiar with these kinds of electronics, or just haven't flown a drone in general. Collision sensors work, yes, but not all the time, especially if you're in like sport mode or something and you're flying as fast as you can and then forget to switch it back. The point is, if you're worried about something like this is just your peace of mind. This is really all you can do that's going to guarantee that if something goes wrong, you get a new drone. So you pay once. When you turn your drone on, it'll give you the option in the app if you want to add DJI Care. If you haven't turned your drone on at all, you don't have to worry about it. As soon as you start the drone, that's when you get the chance to add DJI Care. If it's been more than 48 hours or you have a used drone, you can still add it. Just skip to the part in this video where I explain how. Either way, the gist of it's simple. Basically, you pay once. It's 1 year for $80 with the Mini 3 Pro. Cool thing about the Mini 3 Pro is that it's not that expensive, so the cost is marginal compared to the risk. Other drones, larger drones, have more expensive DJI Care, so with the Mini 3 it's almost not noticeable. The other thing is that you're paying for this once and you don't have to think about it again. I usually say the insurance sucks because you pay a monthly fee to cover something, and then 2 years later when you lose whatever you're covering or you break your camera, the amount that you've paid the insurance company in those 2 years equates to what you would have just had to pay if you just bought a new one when something goes wrong. And even then, that's in the off chance that something goes wrong. So if you're doing this for work, then you're the perfect candidate. For $80, I mean, if you're putting wear and tear on this thing like left and right, flying this every day for money, then you really get the most out of this. There's people on the fence who are like, I'm gonna fly my drone once for Memorial Day and at Christmas, and they don't know. But when you're using it like high mileage, you're the perfect candidate for this. It covers water damage, wear and tear, crashing into the side of a tree just crashes. And then the last one, flyaways. Flyaways, they needed to put it in there to address it because it's just such a weird, unique circumstances that it saves them all the questions of people asking if a flyaway is covered. I just don't want to talk about it because there is some idiot who will watch this and think, oh my gosh, DJI, look at all the flyaways happening. They even said so on their insurance page. It's super, super rare, but they have to put it on the page to address it to save them from all the questions of people who will ask anyway. So wear and tear, yes, if you just wear your drone into the ground, that counts and you can get it replaced. You do have a 2-year option to cover it, but I think that's an acceptable range because the lifetime of a drone isn't like 6 years like a film camera. People buy these things, use them, and then they get really excited and then they want the next best new thing that comes out a year and a half later and they sell their old drone and then go buy a new one. So you don't need the thing to last like 5 years anyways. I'm fine with 1. I mean, that's when I would use my drone the most if it's a brand new drone. I do want to emphasize about when you activate this, you have to do it within the first 48 hours of turning on your drone. Again, if you haven't turned your drone on yet, it can sit in your closet for a month. It doesn't matter. It just when you start it up and link it to your account. If you don't, you can still add DJI Care later on. If you have a used drone that's old or it's been more than 48 hours, you do have the option to do a screen recording following the steps on this link, and it goes over in a video with the jazziest corporate music ever exactly what you have to do. You just show that the drone is working a couple of different ways. Then when you send it in, you'll get approval and you can add DJI Care. This is cool that they even give us an option because it's really hard to verify that somebody doesn't just buy a broken drone and then try and and send it in with DJI Care. So this is to help prove that you're not a scammer. So for honest people, yes, that's fine. I mean, I'd do it if I bought a used drone that didn't have it and I needed the coverage. Some people have said it's taken 3 days to get a replacement. Other people, once they get verified, it takes 7 to 10 days. This is different for everybody all over the world. You know, if it's like Christmas or something, obviously it might take more time, and depending on how long shipping takes. When I had a Mavic Pro 1 that had a sensor issue, it took me 8 days from start to finish, 8 days total, to get a replacement sent out to me, but that was like 2018 when this happened. Results may vary. I am not your mom, so go look this stuff up yourself on a Facebook group. Join a Facebook group for your drone, an Air 2S, Mini 3, whatever you have. You can also look at other people talking about it there. Otherwise, as far as insurance goes, this is a really good option.